Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Apex. Today we're talking about the Dutch Grand Prix. We're back in Zandvoort.
Oh my god, and what a race it was,
I
can
know.
I just say. A masterclass from McLaren, but we'll start off with Red Bull.
Absolutely.
I mean, they weren't the fastest car at all, and yet Max still managed to lead the race and also get a decent result out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think we actually are seeing a shift in Red Bull in terms of, they're not the fastest car. The weekends that we've had so far, McLaren have really been up there, and the fastest car at points.
And it's brilliant. I mean, obviously, it's weird that the fact that Red Bull are now not the fastest car, and yet Checo's actually got one of his best results in a while. I mean, P6. He climbed a couple of positions, and it's actually an okay result because they need these for the constructors with Ferrari and McLaren close on their tails.
Definitely, but then again, I think P6 being a good result for Checo. I mean,
it's not good.
It's not good, is it? Because Red Bull need that second driver, like we said before, to kind of come back and really push from the constructors. Because if you've got someone like McLaren, getting P1, P2, that's a whole load of chunk of points.
Absolutely, and I mean, look, you've got second drivers like Piastri and Sainz up there, and Checo, in what is at the moment the second fastest car, needs to be getting up there in at least P4, P5.
Definitely.
And I mean, the fact that we are saying P6 is an okay result is very, very poor. Because I mean, in 2019, Christian Horner said that Gasly should be getting at least P5. So the fact that an okay result for Checo's P6 isn't great.
Doesn't say a lot.
However, I mean, going on to Mercedes, had a worse weekend than Red Bull. I mean, going from stark contrast from Spa. I mean, they were P7, P8, mainly just due to strategy. I mean, they didn't have the fastest car at all this weekend. I mean, Lewis showed that in qualifying, not having the greatest qualifying. But I mean, it just wasn't the best weekend. It was a good comeback drive, but it's not good points.
But then, should the team really be looking for those comeback drives, they should be
up
there in the first place, And I think, especially a circuit like Zandvoort is really, really tricky, because it's the banked corners are I don't know how they do it. They are absolutely insane. And I don't know. I just don't think they'll be walking away from this weekend with their heads held high.
Absolutely not. And I mean, they looked like they had such good trajectory in Spa, having clearly the quickest car. And it seems like they've just lost it here with other teams bringing upgrades. Maybe it's as we always say. It's not them dropping back, it's other teams moving forward. And it feels like that's definitely happened with, for sure, McLaren and Ferrari.
I was going to say that, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, going on to Ferrari, the upgrades have clearly worked. This shouldn't have been a circuit that they did well at, and yet Leclerc was able to hold off Piastri and was fighting Max towards the end, and Sainz got a good result in P5 as well.
Yeah, and I think we haven't seen them up there recently, have we?
No, not at all. I mean, this is Charles' first podium in loads of races, it feels like. So, I mean...
And it's only going to get better!
It's only going to get better. I mean, to preface, we are recording this after Monza, so, let's just say, the upgrades are working.
They are
to say the least.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's go on to McLaren. It was dominant. It was a dominant win from Lando, a 23-second lead at the end of the race. I mean, I couldn't have predicted that from the start of the season in the slightest. And I mean, he got the fastest lap on the last lap as well. He's clearly got so much confidence coming out of the summer break. It clearly did him good. Annoyingly, Piastri couldn't get Charles for third, but still, it's a brilliant weekend.
I was going to say, we're talking about kind of Checo and the second driver, but Piastri is as much as he's maybe not got the confidence of Lando, proving to be that dominant car, the dominant driver in that car. Piastri's got the same car, but he's still performing to a better level that Checo isn't.
Absolutely. I mean, he's still there fighting people at least. I mean, Checo's in no man's land, 8 seconds behind people, not really doing anything, just being kind of like a no-runner in his positions.
Yeah.
However, Piastri's pushing, he's trying to get Charles, he's trying to get Max. They were pushing for the 1-2 at the end of the race, so it is just the signs of a good second driver. And I mean, Lando is 100%, I think, in the championship battle now. There's no doubt about that. We've got the quickest car. Max is 70 points ahead, and we need kind of Piastri to kind of be helping now. This is why they made Lando switch positions in Hungary, because of the fact that Lando's going to need Oscar now to get in points and take points off Max. That's the key thing. And hopefully we can keep this up.
I was going to say as well, for the constructors as well, they need that two-driver pairing to really come at Red Bull. Because Red Bull are far ahead, but they won't be for a while. If Checo keeps performing to the lower level, and then Piastri and Lando are just both completely dominant all weekend, or able to fight cars that are providing upgrades like Ferrari and Leclerc, but yeah, they're going to need it.
They're going to need it. I mean, if I do some quick maths here, Red Bull got 24 points, I believe, and then Lando and Oscar got, if I work it out quickly, 23, 37, 38 points. So I mean, they are catching them at a massive pace, and that is mainly due to Piastri as well. Because if we look back at past races, Max would be winning races and Checo being like P8, P9. So it's just a style difference, and that's where Piastri is. But I mean, that was kind of the brunt of the race. But now let's move on to Aston Martin.
Okay, so Aston Martin, yeah. I mean, again, not really much to say.
No.
What a point for Alonso, but
it's not where they want to be. I mean, if you look at the start of 2023 where they were, I mean, Alonso was fighting Max, and now you're looking at them, they're battling for the low end of the points in most races. And it's just like, I mean, Stroll's in 13th, battling with Ricciardo, but it's not where they want to be. And obviously there's been heavy rumours that Adrian Newey joined that team. It's been confirmed that Honda, they're also partnering with Honda for 2026. So they're I think they've put all of their eggs now in the 2026 basket. They're binning off the next 2 years, and they're just trying to focus on hitting the regulations big, like they did last time. So they've got to keep their fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, and I think as well, especially with the Newey situation and seeing kind of the downfall of Red Bull, we're not seeing that obviously change in Aston Martin yet because it hasn't been confirmed and hasn't happened yet. But you are right, come 2026, if they do get Newey in that car with that Honda engine,
they want to hit it hard, and I think they're putting all of their eggs in the basket. They're like, do you know what? So obviously Newey, he's having his gardening leave for the next year. They're going to want him designing the car for 2026, and they've got to hope. Mike Crack has got to hope that he's going to hit that hard, otherwise he's out of the job. Lawrence Stroll is not going to have that.
I mean, Stroll, again, is not messing around. He's put so much investment into the whole team, like the new factory, all of the technology, like the wind tunnel stuff and things like that. They're going to want, like you said, to just come at it in full force, and that's what they're doing, especially with Newey.
And also rumours, obviously, they're trying to get Max as well, which is insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we move on to Alpine, obviously the big news this weekend as well, that Jack Doohan is joining the team as a rookie for a 2025 drive. I'm kind of undecided on this. I mean, was he good in F2? Yes, for sure. I mean, he was battling the likes of Vesti and Pourchaire. Is he this kind of proven talent? I don't think so. I mean, he's been a reserve. They must see the simulator data and be like, do you know what, this guy's the future for this team. But does he deserve a drive? I don't know.
It's difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, we've got so many drivers up and coming, not just in F2 and F3. We see it all the time, drivers come along, maybe they perform well or, at a decent level in F2 or a feeder series, and they come along and they just cannot make it in F1.
I mean, you look at the likes of Sargent, Latifi, I mean, there are some drivers that just don't get it, so it's either going to be, Doohan's either going to be a Piastri or a Sargent.
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Who knows, but we'll see in 2025.
Absolutely, but obviously they got a P9 in this race with Gasly, a brilliant result from where they were at the start of the season, but they'll definitely be taking that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Talking about Sargent, we'll go on to Williams. I mean,
his massive crash in FP3 is definitely going to hit his confidence.
I think it's.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil it, but something happens next race.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was ahead of Albon for the majority of the race, and then obviously Albon just passed him, and then he finished ahead of him. But no real points for the team. But they have got upgrades, so hopefully on other tracks where the car suits it more, they'll be in the points.
Completely agree. And I mean, we're going on to obviously the part of the grid where we've not much to say about them. It's literally giving me when I do FE podcasts.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like racing balls. They weren't anywhere. I mean, they were off the pace. I mean, Ricciardo is outperforming Yuki now for sure. I think Ricciardo's definitely used to that car now, and it's a stark contrast from the start of the season.
Yeah.
But the car was nowhere, no points. Sauber, I don't think they've been anywhere this season.
I haven't even seen the green car.
Stake must be gutted because they've paid so much money to be front and centre in that car. Firstly, we're calling it Sauber, which doesn't help them because it's Stake F1 team.
Yeah.
But secondly, we just don't see the car. I mean, it's nowhere. They are literally battling no one. I mean, I think they were literally at the back. 19th and 20th, 2 laps behind. They are nowhere, and I mean, Audi have got to be just putting all their eggs in the basket.
I think it's kind of a similar situation to Aston Martin. They're focusing 100%. On the new regulations and what they can bring to that season. And I just think, they're just kind of writing off these.
They don't care at this point. But there is heavy rumours, that Teo Pourchaire is going to be in the car next year. I've seen that. Bonotto has said that he's going for Pourchaire. I'm not getting excited yet because the amount of times that we've had rumours that Taylor's going to join the grids has been numerous. However, there is hope again. So fingers
get the Taylor cap out.
Get the Taylor cap out and ready for Audi in 2026. But yeah, ending it with Haas. I mean, there was no. I mean, Hulk was close to the points, but didn't get there in the end.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was the Dutch Grand Prix. Hopefully, it's onwards and upwards for McLaren. Spoilers. Not great.
Hopefully it's not.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for watching,
Yeah.
and we'll see you on the next podcast.